A long time ago, a poor woodcutter lived on the border of the forest with his two children, Hansel and Gretel, and his second wife. The wife possessed a cruel nature and didn't treat the children well. "There is not enough food in this house for all of us," the stepmother often said. "There are too many mouths to feed." The father didn't know what to do and felt very helpless. One day, the stepmother told her husband to take the children deep into the wood and leave them where they never find their way back. The woodcutter didn't know what to do. Now it just so happened that Hansel was nearby doing some household chores when he overheard her stepmother's plan. Hansel ran to Gretel and told her what he had heard. Gretel was horrified, but Hansel had a plan and told her to help him collect as many white pepper as they could. The next morning, the stepmother woke the children and told them that they were going into the forest to help their father cut wood. The sad woodcutter led the children to a clearing deep in the forest and told them to wait for him while he went to find a tree to cut. The children waited for him for a long time, but the father didn't come back. They were very frightened. Hansel comforted his sister. "We collect white pepper, remember?" she said. "I dropped them behind me as we made our way through the forest. All we need to do is follow them back." The white pebble gleamed like diamond in the moonlight, and the children easily followed them back. They reached their house in the morning. Their stepmother was furious and scolded her husband. "You good for nothing! Cannot you do anything right?" she says as she stomped her foot. "The children are back!" She demanded that he take the children to the forest again the next day. The next day, the woodcutter took Hansel and Gretel into the forest once again, only much deeper than before. Hansel didn't have time to gather pepper, so he used a lot of bread and dropped the crumb behind him as they walked. However, when the children went to follow the path home, the crumbs were gone. They had eaten by bird. Hansel and Gretel were truly lost. The brother and sister walked through the forest for hours and were becoming very hungry. Suddenly, they came upon a strange cottage that made of sweet. They were amazed to see walls made of chocolate, door and window made of cookie, and roof made of icing and candy. They ran to the house and began to eat. Little did they know that the delicious cottage belonged to the witch, whose favorite food wasn't sweet but children. No sooner did Hansel and Gretel take candy from the cottage than she crept them into her house. The witch locked Hansel in a cage and told him that once she fastened him up, he would be baked into a pie. She made Gretel do the housework but promised to eat her once she was done with Hansel. The witch shook Hansel's finger dearly to see if he was ready to eat. Weeks passed until finally she declared that Hansel was suitably juicy and ready for roasting. She ordered Gretel to light the oven. Gretel lit the oven and racked her brain for a way to save her brother. The witch asked Gretel if the oven was hot enough, Gretel told her that she wasn't tall enough to shake the heat. The witch pushed her out of the way, leaning forward into the oven to shake the heat. Suddenly, Gretel gave the witch a great shove into the hot oven. The witch screamed as Gretel slammed the oven door shut. The witch was punished for her weakness, and Gretel ran to free her brother. Hansel and Gretel escaped the cottage and ran back into the forest. Luck favored the children, and they soon found their way back home. The woodcutter was very happy to see his children return. He told them how sorry he was for listening to his wife, and he had kicked her out. The children hugged their father, and the three of them lived happily once more. Thank you for your listening and watching.